It was 2 in the morning when the roar of motorcycle engines filled the old garage, drowning out everything, until a tiny voice cut through the noise. "Can you hide me from my daddy?" Every head turned. 12 leather-clad bikers, members of the Devil's Outcasts, froze mid-motion. Standing in the doorway was a 6-year-old girl. Her pink backpack looked almost bigger than she was, her shoes muddy, her eyes wide with fear. Razor, the club president, a man with a scarred face and the kind of stare that made grown men look away, took a cautious step forward. "What's your name, sweetheart?" he asked gently. "Emma," she whispered. "Emma Rodriguez. My daddy's coming to get me, and I don't want to go." The room went silent. The smell of oil and gasoline hung heavy in the air. One of the bikers, Tank, spoke softly. "Where's your mommy, Emma?" Her little voice trembled. "Mommy's sleeping, in heaven. Daddy said so. But I think he made her go to sleep." She rubbed her eyes with her sleeve. "There was red stuff on her head before she went away." No one spoke. These men had seen bar fights, blood, even death, but hearing it from a child hit different. Razor crouched down to her level. "How'd you get here, little one?" She swallowed hard. "I followed the highway lines all night. Mommy told me once, if something really bad ever happened, I should find the scary-looking people who fight monsters." She opened her backpack. "I brought snacks, Mommy's phone, and something else." The men exchanged glances as she pulled out a kitchen knife, its blade dried with old blood. "Daddy was hurting Mommy with this," she said softly. "Mommy said, if something bad happens, take the evidence." Then, almost shyly, she pulled out a digital camera and a Hello Kitty flash drive. "Mommy said the police won't believe us unless we have proof." She turned on the camera. The first picture showed her mother with a black eye. The second, bruises. The third, no one could look. There were 47 photos in total. Razor clenched his jaw. "Where's your dad now?" he asked. "He's with his work friends," Emma whispered. "The ones with fast cars and guns." That's when they heard it. Engines approaching, fast. 3 cars, headlights slicing through the darkness. "That's Daddy's friends," Emma said, panic in her voice. She ran behind Razor. "Please, don't let them take me." Outside, gravel crunched under tires. The doors swung open, and a tall man stumbled out, drunk, furious, gun in hand. 2 others followed, cold-eyed, cartel types. "Emma!" he roared. "You took something that doesn't belong to you!" The bikers moved, forming a wall of leather and muscle between the girl and her father. "She took the ledger!" one of the men shouted. "That flash drive could ruin everything!" Emma peeked out from behind Razor, her little hands shaking. "You hurt Mommy," she said, her voice cracking but brave. "You made her go to sleep forever, and now the police are going to know everything you did." Her father's face twisted with rage. "You should have gone with her that night." He raised his gun, but he never got the chance to pull the trigger. In less than 90 seconds, it was over. The bikers moved like a unit, calm, precise, deadly. When the dust settled, the 3 men were zip-tied, bleeding, and unconscious. Emma looked at her father, then carefully picked up his gun with 2 fingers. "This goes to the police too," she said softly. "More evidence." Razor looked at her in awe. "Yeah, sweetheart, it's over now." But it wasn't over, not yet. 20 minutes later, police sirens wailed. They came, took the men away, and collected the camera, the flash drive, the knife. Emma's father was charged with murder, child abuse, and cartel trafficking. The flash drive exposed 3 years of money laundering. It made headlines the next morning. But after the chaos, Emma had nowhere to go. The social worker said gently, "She's got an aunt in California, but with those cartel ties, it's not safe. She stays with us, Razor said without hesitation. The woman blinked. "Mr. Rodriguez, you're a convicted felon and president of an outlaw motorcycle club." Razor crossed his arms. "Then the system's got a problem, because she chose us and we're not giving her up." And that's how the most unlikely custody battle in state history began. For 3 weeks, Emma lived in the clubhouse. The bikers had no clue how to raise a child, but they learned fast. The first night she had a nightmare, Chains, the club's terrifying enforcer, sat beside her bed all night, reading children's books in his rough, deep voice. When she got a fever, the men stayed up for 2 days straight, checking her temperature, whispering prayers they didn't even believe in. When she missed her mom, Snake, tattooed head to toe, told her, "You can talk to her, little warrior. Out loud, she can hear you from heaven." So Emma sat in the middle of the garage one night, whispering, "Hi, Mommy, I'm okay now. The scary men took care of the bad man, just like you said they would." Every biker there had tears in their eyes. They started calling her Little Warrior. Somehow she healed them more than they healed her. Weeks later, the custody hearing came. Emma stood in front of the judge, her small hands gripping the stand. "Some people think my new family is too scary to take care of me," she said softly. "But sometimes the scariest-looking people have the biggest hearts." The courtroom went silent. Judge Williams looked at her for a long time, then smiled. Custody granted. The room erupted. Emma ran straight into Razor's arms. "Daddy!" she cried, the first time she had ever said the word with joy. That night, the Devil's Outcasts threw the biggest celebration in their history. Not because they'd beaten the system, but because they'd finally found what family really meant. A year later, Emma's pink backpack didn't carry fear anymore. It carried crayons, notebooks, and cards with phone numbers for kids in trouble. She started a group called Little Warriors. Now 32 children are part of it. The bikers teach them self-defense, help them build confidence, and protect kids the system forgets. The same men who once broke the law now break the cycle of abuse. Emma is 10 now. She still calls Razor Daddy and has 11 uncles who would die for her. Every year they gather in that same garage, not to remember the night she ran from monsters, but the night she found her family. Because sometimes the scariest people become the best protectors. And sometimes the smallest voices change the loudest worlds. If Emma's story touched your heart, hit that subscribe button, because real heroes don't always wear badges. Sometimes they wear leather jackets.